It works. It's alive. It's alive. Now we showed this off a bit last time. And I think there's been some minor modifications since it. I think we added some more attachments onto the end just to nab a few more other things we weren't grabbing before. But our scrappy lottery farm is working nicely. As you can see, we have 51 diamonds, 32 emeralds, whole bunch of other goodies. But as you may be noticing, it's a bit quiet today. We don't have any loud intrusions upon our persons. Joking aside, Fibble is a bit busy today. He's actually been busy. Like last week, the episode didn't come out because of some scheduling conflicts with Fibble being busy and kind of when I was available to record. And this week, Fibble has just been kind of working hard at work. As far as I know, it's like Wednesday now that I'm recording right now, and he got in, and I talked to him very briefly today. He had already worked, like it's Wednesday, and he already worked apparently like 40 hours of work, so he's been super busy. So I decided to take it upon myself, instead of kind of skipping another week of episodes, just kind of doing a shorter, probably a shorter little episode. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be too long, but just enough to be kind of interesting. So since last time, we've done a little bit of work on the barn. As you can see, it has, well, you can't see the roof, has has roof. We do have a roof now on it. We're using, I don't remember what kind of wood it is. We are using, it's like a purplish, blackish wood. It's not ebony, if I remember correctly. I think we have some over here. Yeah, it's this dark wood from Biomozo Plenty. We use that for our roof. I think it looks pretty good. It's a very darkish color. It's a bit bluish, which I don't know if is necessarily what we're going to want to keep, but I don't think it looks too bad. Gives a very American feel to our barn. Red, white, and blue. Arr. Also, as you can see, we kind of have some of the components of like the roof kind of protruding out from the main face of the barn, in comparison to what we had last time, which was just kind of a flat face for a barn, which is definitely an improvement, I would say. It might be something we might do with the other faces. Actually, it looks like I already done here. We'll probably do with other bits and pieces of the face is kind of just protrude them, like we do with this, like we do with that, just to kind of give a little bit of depth to our barn. Today, I think I'm gonna do. I had plans. The initial plans for this episode was to work on the armory. The armor we had discussed in season 1, and I think we discussed it a little bit in season 2. Early on, I think. There are plans to construct an armory kind of embedded in that little mountain there that kind of goes upwards, and takes advantage of a bunch of different things like our Bibliocraft armor stand and sword pedestal and such like that, so that we could kind of have little ways to kind of show off all the different sets of armor and such that are within the whole sets of mods that we got. I mean, if I look up chestplate, for example, chestplate. Oh no, hold on. My items are not showing them all because I was looking at them. If I look up chestplates, for example, we have a whole ton of different chestplates. The same with pants. Well, it's probably leggings. Leg. There you go. Look at all those different leggings. We got swords. Whole ton of different swords. So we got like a lot of cool things that we want to kind of show off of kind of from the different mods as we kind of explore out into the world and just kind of gather resources and craft stuff. So the armory that we're planning for right there is kind of just to exhibit all the different stuff from the mods that we have. So that was planned for today. However, Today's going to be a bit more of a shorter episode because it is without Fiddle. So I figured I would do maybe a little bit of work on the barn, maybe discuss some plans that we have. I don't remember if some of this stuff has been mentioned. So one of the things that was mentioned, I think we discussed a little bit last episode, is that the barn is going to be kind of our central place that we're going to be holding the animals, or at least some of the animals that we have, you know, or at least some of the natural animals of the world, so cows, sheep, pigs. We're definitely going to be moving our elephants in here, because as most of you probably are aware of, and if you're not aware of it, our elephant is in a really sad place. Very, very sad. It's been alone for far too long. Fibble has abandoned it, more or less, and hasn't really been doing much with it. And so you see this door, and you can already hear it. Fibble lets his door over to his little room for his Dumbo. This is probably one of the saddest places this elephant could be right now. Look at his eyes. Look at the tears. It's a sad, sad elephant. It needs a larger area. And it will get a larger area. This is kind of one of the kind of reasons we want to get the elephant in here, is to have its own little home habitat area. So we're definitely going to be let me grab some of the resources here. We're definitely going to be setting up this barn in a way that we can kind of support all the various animals that we want. I was thinking of using just regular vanilla fences, regular oak fences. Just kind of break up the the colors a bit more. I don't know if this is going to be the end-all be-all color for the fences that we're going to use for this. We might switch over to possibly a mangrove fence if we can. I actually don't know if mangrove has a fence. Mangrove? No, mangrove does not have a fence. Okay, so even more reason. But either way, there's going to be some type of material for our fence here that we're going to use. And we're going to have to make some fence gates and stuff like that. I'm not going to worry about that just yet today. I think today is just kind of getting a little bit of a general structure to the area, maybe throwing in some windows and such, and kind of going from there. Like I said, it's probably going to be a fairly shorter episode, just because it's by myself, and it actually is, let me look at my phone. It's actually 1:37 in the morning. So, it's fairly late. There we go. So in general, the fencing is going to be sort of like this. I do have some ladders in here, that I think I'm going to take advantage of. I think it's going to be in our best interest to take advantage of ladders up into the upper lofts, and I think I have some more fence in here. I did not make nearly as much fence. Oh no, right here. Okay, so I did not make nearly as much fence as I thought I was going to need. So I think in general, what we're probably going to do is, instead of having these kind of terrible looking staircases here, I'm probably just going to go kind of with a more generic kind of a ladder. No. Probably with a more generic ladder, well, that kind of leads up to here, and then we'll have, you know, our fences up here. The loft itself, more or less, is just kind of an aesthetic thing. We'll have hay bales and such up here, and I don't know why that's there. That probably needs to go. I think that needs to go. Not 100% positive. I'll leave it there for now because I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that has to go. Yeah, like I was saying, in general, we're just gonna have this upper area is just gonna be more aesthetic than anything. I put so many torches on the outside here. Rock, what are you doing? This kind of upper area is going to be more aesthetic than not. Maybe have some hay bales and such, just to kind of give the illusion of a barn. We're definitely going to want to have another ladder wheel over here, and I'm kind of thinking we'll probably have ladder wheels in the back corners as well, just for maybe a little consistency sake. And we'll put it one up just so mobs aren't as likely to be able to bump into it and kind of climb it. But I think this is more or less exactly what we're looking for the barn. We'll just go over here real quick. And I'm probably going to have to cut this out as well, just to be consistent with that side over there. Yeah, let's do that real quick. We're going to have ladder wells up, so it's not really necessary that we have this. This just seems like a byproduct of when we were constructing this area overall. There we go. Fantastic. And again, we're gonna have to put some fences and fence gates into here, but it's more or less just gonna be whenever we figure out the sizes of the pens we want and what animals we're gonna want to put in here. That's probably gonna be the ideal way of deciding how we're gonna put how we're gonna go about putting the how we're about putting the kind of the in-between fences in regards to the pens, so that we can kind of section off the various animals. So I know one thought that we had, which I would love to hear all of your suggestions about it. Kind of one thought we had is that kind of having kind of little hall doorways within the sides of the barn that kind of lead out to a little little penned in area, some kind of like what you would say a kind of enclosure area, so that the mobs that were in their pins would have a little exit way, and they could kind of wander out there and be relatively safe, and then be able to wander back in and such like that. It would just be like a little enclosure that's attached to each of the little pins, allowing to give the illusion that all the mobs have a lot more space that they have than they have within this area, even though realistically it doesn't really matter, because they're not very smart. Okay, let me grab. Oh, I grabbed way more than I needed. Okay, let's just grab a little bit of that. So we are going to also want to put on a few windows in various points of this area. Maybe a couple windows up near the top, just to kind of have some, kind of break up the faceplate of it. And then we'll probably want to put some windows on the side at some point. I don't know exactly where, but we'll want to put some windows. It's the hard part about doing this in survival, is that you can't really just like fly around and do whatever you want. You got to kind of pillar up and figure stuff out. So let's kind of wander ourselves up here. This right here is the center point. We're probably going to want a window, something like, how do I want to do this? Not that one. Something like that, maybe. And how does that look for at least that centered window? I'm probably going to want more than... kind of want to push that over a little bit more. It's trial. It's a lot of trial and error. That's all it is. But really, that's how the fools work in general. It's like, oh, we come up with a general idea, and then we iterate upon it until we find that it's good. Okay, that might work okay. Right now, that is a 4x4 window. I'm kind of wanting to make it not more rounded, but more oddly numbered. That's one problem that we've run into a fair number of times in the past, is having even numbered kind of sized areas, which is really just always led us to issues. So I mean, if we have that, where does that come into? Let's try to let's carve out the space in general. Figure out kind of where it goes. Go from there. Okay. Okay, okay. I like that. At least the initial onset of that. Let's work our way back down. Just want to get a general like cutout of the window. I might put down a little bit of pane, not stained glass. I might put a couple of glass panes down just as a just to get a rough idea of how it's gonna look. And then we might go from there. I mean, we have a ridiculous amount of glass panes over at base right now, so I'm not too worried about wasting a little bit of that. And I think, in general, like we grabbed a whole bunch of glass from Pirco because he has like a ridiculous glass generation system in his setup. So we're not too worried about that. That looks pretty good. I actually like that. Let's go ahead, do the same over here, and then, you know, take a look at it, get a feel from there. So we want to cut out here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I like it. I like it. This gives us a nice kind of a grand windowy feel, and I can imagine this is going to look even better once we get the glass in there. Let's get back down here and take a look. Let's kind of back up a little bit, get a feel for this. I like it. Also seems funny looking. It almost looks like a mouth and with two eyes. Like, ah, ah. Let's throw some glass in there. Let's see how that looks. I'm not sold on it, but I could be persuaded. I could be persuaded. So let's get a feel for this. I think maybe 5 by 5 might be a little too big, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay. Just like that. I might ultimately have to just round the windows kind of thing. Maybe like take off the corners or something like that. It's hard. It's hard to say. Actually we could round these corners right here and see how it looks from there. Let's do maybe get rid of a couple of these corners. Maybe test from there. I mean, this could only go wrong. Okay. Luckily, I can kind of just sneak around and do that. Okay, let's take a look from the outside. See which one we're liking more. I'm very optimistic as to what the results of this are going to be. Oh yeah. I don't like either of those. They both look terrible. Okay, we're definitely going to have to do a little more investigating as to what we're going to want to do with this. I don't like either of those. But that, out of the two evils, this one looks a little bit better. Maybe if we rounded the top of this, it might look better. Let's round the top of the pseudo round the top of this. Maybe a soft rounding of it by just going and getting rid of the top corners. I can't imagine that's going to make it any better. We can try. I think this is definitely going to be one of those situations where we're going to have to sit down and fiddle and figure out what we want to do in regards to the front faceplate windows to kind of make it look barn-like. You see? That looks better. It looks better, but I'm not 100% sold. So in this, I'm going to do it from the outside here. From this perspective, I should be able to theoretically just chop out like that. And that. And be in a decent place? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's better. I don't know if I'm sold with it. It's just, I think the big thing it comes down to is the texture that's for that not stained glass, but the glass panes. I don't know if I like it. If it didn't have the textures in between it, which really I think I can disable. Details. No, I'm pretty sure there was another performance quality. Custom colors. Connected textures. Oh yeah. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Of course, it's gonna retessellate all the everything because it's got to do everything for that. But that actually looks. Not that I don't have the interconnecting edge textures in the middle of it. That doesn't look too terrible. Maybe I should keep this option on. It doesn't look that bad. That's better. Don't know if I'm fully happy with it, but it's better, I will say. I don't know. Let me know what you guys and gals think in the comments of what we should do with this. I don't think the rounded windows looked very good. The square windows, not really that good either. At least with this kind of rounded top windows, it looks a bit better, and adding in the connected textures makes it look even better. I think it's this texture in general. Maybe I should look into a texture pack. A texture pack for this server. Because if we didn't have all those little jittery lines and it was kind of transparent, it would look infinitely better, I think. I'm not sure. We're going to have to work on it. There's a lot we're going to need to work on. Speaking of working on stuff, we do have one little plan. I'm going to briefly mention it. I'm not going to give too much detail on it. I'll briefly mention it. We do have plans for a sheep farm, which we're going to kind of have a secondary floor down below. That's going to be our kind of a wool farm that will have all 16 different sheep down there. And we'll set up some redstone contraptions to kind of auto harvest all the wool and such. This is something I've done in the past in the Craftsman Collective. I had set up a kind of a wool farm in order to harvest all the wool, and this is something I'm probably going to reset up in this world once we kind of get the the area built up. But that's going to be for another time. I think we're going to call it there for today. Like I said, a kind of shortish episode, but I didn't plan for anything super long. And even considering it a shortish episode, it's probably a decent length if I were to say so myself. But thanks for joining everyone for another episode of The Fools. And I will catch you all, and with hopefully Phil and Tail next time.